Now, moving on. Last week, I shared my thoughts on the news that my buddy and former colleague Skip Bayless will be parting ways with FS1 and Undisputed. This week, Skip is back in the headlines again while discussing Joel Embiid claiming he's the most hated player in the NBA during an appearance on, quote, the Check Ball Show, end quote. Skip proclaimed that he is the most hated man in all of sports media. Some people might look at that and say that Skip's trying to get attention for himself or whatever, and I don't think so. I think that Skip is somebody that says what he means and means what he says. Not always right, not always wrong, but I think he means what he says. In terms of being hated, I don't think Skip cares. Matter of fact, in some instances, I think he takes it as a badge of honor. But I'm going to tell you something that all of us should appreciate about Skip Bayless. You know, one of the things that so many folks miss, especially in this day and age, and it's one of the things that I will openly confess pisses me the hell off. You know, when elder statesmen talk about respecting your elders and stuff like that, you're talking about respecting people who paved the way because you know something, if they didn't do it, not only would you not have known what to do, you might not have ever been able to do it. They are pioneers in everything. And in the world of sports, which we primarily cover, Connie Hawkins preceded Dr. J. Dr. J preceded Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan preceded Vince Carter and Kobe Bryant. I go back to the days of shooters where, you know, Mad Dog Russo will bring up Sam Jones and folks like Jerry West, and we saw stuff like that. And I started watching it, and it was downtown Freddie Brown for the Seattle Supersonics and the Dale Ellises of the world and Ricky Pierces of the world and so many others. Larry Bird came along, and he was a sharpshooter and all of this other stuff. And we see the Allen Houstons of the world, the Reggie Millers of the world, the Ray Allens of the world. We saw so many long-range shooters, but then Steph Curry and Klay Thompson came along, and we saw something special. And we saw a little bit something different from them because they weren't just catching and shooting, especially in the case of Steph Curry, movement without the basketball. That was Reggie Miller, sure, but Steph Curry's ability to shoot from anywhere. The range was unlimited. His ball handling skills and an ability to create his own shot and what have you, all of those things came into play. Guess what? That's how it goes. There's always pioneers. And when we look at the world of podcasting and sports talk and what have you, Skip Bayless is one of the pioneers. And let me tell you about something that I know for a fact better than anybody. So many people paid too much attention, wondering and lamenting what he said. The hating on LeBron James, the love affair with Tim Tebow, and his fixation on the Cowboys in a positive way, where I'm the troll, and all of this other stuff. You know what you miss? If he didn't do what he did, how would we have been able to do what we do? Think about the subjects we tackled. Think about the matters we pontificated about. Think about the sensitive issues that were broadcast over the national airwaves. Think about how polarizing they were. Think about disenfranchised communities and other minorities within this country salivating for opportunities to have a voice and to make sure their voices were heard. Think about the things that people say and do now. If a white older guy like Skip Bayless wasn't willing to take the positions that he took while inviting people to sit opposite of him and challenge him on so many different issues, would debate television be what it is? See, a lot of times we get caught up in thinking about what that person's saying. Sometimes it's the platform they provide. Do you know that there isn't a week that goes by where there's something that I could say, but I know coming from me, it won't work. It'll be taken wrong. It might be taken differently than I wanted absorbed. So I might leave it to the person I'm debating with. I might leave it to one of the football analysts. I might leave it to one of the basketball analysts. I might leave it to one of the pundits out there, political, social justice, social commentary, or whatever. Or the female issues, Shanae Ogumake, Andrea Carter, and Monica McNutt, and Molly Kiram, and all of these other folks. Why? Because there's certain things that don't need to come out of my mouth. But I have an obligation to provide the platform for it to come out of the mouth of others. At least a part of that was Skip Bayless. At least a part of that. So while we sit here and we talk about him and act like, oh my God, he's getting ready to leave FS1, so he has failed, even though he's 73 years of age and he's had a successful run that has spanned 4 decades, which most of us could only hope we could ever come close to achieving. I'm saying to you, I'm me. I speak what I speak. I say what I say. That's all true. I've been this way all my life. I didn't have First Take as a national televised platform until 12 years ago. It's not always about the person that's saying something. It's about the person that has the courage and the conscience to provide a platform for others to say what they can't say, what they don't want to say, what they don't feel, what they may feel completely opposite of, and it doesn't bother them. You can think whatever you want about Skip Bayless when it comes to a lot of things he has said and has done over the years, which I've argued and butt heads with him about and didn't agree with him about and what have you. But at least remember that a lot of people have benefited from a platform he helped pioneer. Just try to remember that. Just try to remember that. That's it for this week. For the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. I got to get on out of here. I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. I'm going to make sure I do the same. Until next time, peace and love, everybody. Be safe. God bless.